Just when you think a monster is finally where they belong, behind cold steel bars, the world finds a way to remind you that life isn't a fairy tale. Was Megan Walsh getting bail really just a boring legal procedure? Or was it a perfectly timed punch to the gut for a kid who had just found his voice? I don't know about you, but I could literally feel the warmth leave the room the second that news broke. It was one of those moments that makes you want to shout at your television screen. On the cobbles of Weatherfield, we like to think the good guys eventually win. But tonight, it felt like the system just handed a predator the keys to the front door. We've watched Will Driscoll live in this fog of confusion for what feels like forever. Megan didn't just coach him on the track. She coached his mind. She made him believe she was the only one who truly got him. That's the classic playbook for grooming, and Coronation Street is doing a hauntingly good job of showing us how it works. But now, that slow burn horror has hit a wall. Megan walking free on bail isn't just a plot twist. It's a psychological weapon. It's aimed right at Will's heart. Think about the decision to grant her bail for a second. Why would the writers do this to us? It's because the best drama lives in that feeling of creeping terror. If Megan is locked up, the threat is contained. But if she's walking the same streets as Will, suddenly, everything feels unsafe again. Megan's presence re-victimizes him every single second. It proves to him that his abuser's reach is longer than the arm of the law. It's a strategic move to make Will feel exposed. He took this massive, terrifying step of talking to the police.
He stood up and said his piece.
And what did the system do? It let the woman who hurt him go home. Inside the Driscoll house, you could see Eva Price desperately trying to be the anchor. She's talking about legal restrictions and protection. It's sweet, honestly, but it's also so naive. Will's face told the whole story. He doesn't believe the law can protect him. Why would he? The law didn't spot a predator in his life for months. He feels like he's standing in the middle of a busy street, totally naked. And then there's Megan. She isn't just staying quiet and waiting for her day in court. No, she's actively flipping the script. It's brilliant in the worst way possible. She's claiming that Will was the one who took advantage of her. She's weaponizing the fact that society still struggles to see teenage boys as victims of grooming. She's putting on this performance of vulnerability for her mom, Janine. It turns the upcoming trial into a battle of who can act the best, rather than a search for what's true. In my opinion, this bail decision is a massive failure. It puts the rights of the accused way above the mental safety of a kid. The show is telling us that speaking up is only the start of the pain. It's messy and it's cruel. Megan needs Will to see her. She needs him to associate his fear with her presence. It's her way of saying she's untouchable. Every time Will tries to find his voice, Megan finds a way to choke it out. The arrival of Janine Walsh adds a whole new layer of danger. She comes onto the scene looking like she wants to make things right. But how long does that last? Megan spins a sob story, and Janine is right back under her thumb. Megan knows exactly how to play the distressed daughter card. She's using her own mother as a human shield. By feeding Janine this twisted version of the story, she's making sure Will has to face more than just his abuser. He has to face his abuser's worried mother. That's a whole different kind of guilt for a boy like Will. How can he hurt Megan's family, even if he's telling the truth? It's like a second layer of grooming happening right in front of us. Janine is caught in this terrible spot between her conscience and her maternal instinct. When the Driscolls kick her out of the Rovers, she feels rejected. Megan uses that rejection to bond with her. She puts on this performance of a breakdown to trigger Janine's protective side. Janine becomes an accidental accomplice. When she goes looking for Will on the street, she thinks she's helping. But for Will, it's just another person from Megan's side closing in on him. We often forget about the families of predators. They are collateral damage. But here, Janine is being drafted into the war. Megan is using a mother's love to make a victim's pain look fake. She sends Janine to the pub like a peace offering. When Janine is told to get out, Megan can say, "See, they're the mean ones." It makes Megan look like the underdog. It's so frustrating to watch Janine fall for it. You want to reach through the screen and shake her. I get that a mother wants to believe her child is good. But Janine's U-turn is dangerous. It gives Megan a social cover she shouldn't have. It's a perfect example of how predators are often protected by the people who should be holding them accountable. Janine's head is in the sand because the truth is too much to carry. If she admits what Megan is, her whole world falls apart. So she believes the lie to save herself. Megan knows this. She's conditioning her mom just like she conditioned Will. If she can control what her mother thinks, she can start to control what the street thinks. But the tension didn't just stay on the street tonight. It followed the Driscolls right to the dinner table. That scene was absolutely brutal. It was great television, but man, it was hard to watch. It showed us that trauma doesn't just come from the outside. Sometimes it just exposes the cracks that were already there. Why did Ben choose that exact second to tell Will and Ollie that Maggie killed Alan? It was a total pressure cooker moment. He was so angry about Megan getting bail that he couldn't hold it in anymore. He couldn't hit Megan, so he hit the person closest to him. He lashed out at his mother, the other killer in his life. Will's face in that moment was the most heartbreaking thing I've seen in a long time. He's dealing with two world-ending shocks at once. 1. The woman who abused him is free. 2. His grandmother is a murderer. How is a kid supposed to handle that? He's exhausted. He's being asked to be this brave witness for a family that's built on violent secrets. The Driscolls are like a house of cards in a hurricane. Maggie's secret has hollowed out the family's soul. They're trying to fight Megan Walsh for having no morals, while they're eating dinner with a woman who took a life. Ben's reveal wasn't just a mistake. It was him saying that justice is a joke everywhere. I think Ben failed as a dad in that moment. I really do. I know he's hurting. I know he's raging. But his timing was selfish. Will is at his breaking point. He's terrified for his life. And Ben decides to hand him more trauma? It was messy and impulsive. He took away the last safe place Will had. He took away the belief that his family was good. Ben is suffering from what the experts call displaced aggression. He can't stop Megan, so he exerts control over Maggie. He's trying to brand her a murderer to feel some kind of power in a world where he has none. But wait, it's not just the Driscolls. The ripples from Megan's release are hitting everyone. Look at young Sam Blakeman. His scenes were so worrying. It's a huge reminder that grooming doesn't just hurt the person at the center. Sam is terrified. He thinks Megan is coming for him because he's the one who helped expose her. That's a very real fear of secondary victimization. Even in a mental health unit, the world doesn't feel safe for him. Megan being free is a failure of the world to keep him safe. If a monster can walk free, then doing the right thing starts to feel like a dangerous mistake. Nick's decision to lie to Sam is just heartbreaking. He tells him the trial went smoothly and everything is fine. He's trying to protect a fragile boy. But we all know that secrets in Weatherfield never stay buried. Nick knows the truth is going to spill out. Sam is living in a state of hypervigilance. He tripped and fell because he thought he saw Will. He's looking around corners, paranoid that the threat is lurking everywhere. He isn't just recovering from what Megan did to Will. He's recovering from the fact that safety is a lie. Sam is the invisible witness. He wasn't the target, but he saw the truth. And now he's paying the price. Truth is a high-cost thing on the street. Sam wanted to go to the trial to move on. He wanted to reclaim some power. But Nick's protection might actually be making him more powerless. I think Nick is making a massive blunder by lying. Lies always explode. Sam needs to learn how to live in a world where Megan exists. He doesn't need a fairy tale where she's gone. By giving him this fake version of the trial, Nick is setting him up for a huge crash. Imagine when Sam sees Megan at the Chippy or in the bistro. His whole world will shatter again. Sam's mind is literally creating threats because the real ones were allowed to hide for so long. He sees Will and Liam together, and he feels the pressure of being the only one telling the truth in a neighborhood full of liars. This brings us to the courtroom. It's looking less like a place of law and more like a gladiatorial arena. The spoilers say Will is going to testify twice. That is a massive move. It could be his salvation, or it could be the thing that finally breaks him. The most chilling part is the eye contact. Pre-recorded statements are there to protect kids, but Will is going to face her in person.
Why?
Because Megan's best tool is making him lose his confidence with just a look. She's going to be in that dock performing The Wronged Woman. She's even going to challenge Ben's parenting. She's going to make herself the victim of a relentless lawyer. Will's second chance on the stand is a sign he's wrestling with the full truth. Maybe his first time was stifled because she was staring him down. He's fighting for his voice in a system that usually just sees him as a file. Courtrooms and soaps are never really about the facts. They're about who can tell the better story. Megan is a master of this performance art. She isn't just defending herself, she's attacking everyone else. It's a battle over who gets to write the story of Will's life. Will she be held accountable? Or will her sob story and Janine's support be enough to shatter justice? I am genuinely scared for Will. The psychological toll of being cross-examined while your abuser watches you is just too much. If she gets off, Will is going to blame himself. He's going to think he wasn't convincing enough. Why does the system put the burden on the victim to be a perfect performer? Psychologically, this trial is the turning point. For a year, Will has just been reacting to what Megan does. Now, he's taking an active role. But that role is also a place where he gets hurt all over again. He's tearing open wounds that haven't even started to heal. And Megan knows that. She's counting on his confidence slipping to save her skin. Some people say soaps are just entertainment. But think about it. They're actually a form of social education. Coronation Street still gets some of the biggest audiences on TV. Millions of people are watching Will's story. That means the show has a huge responsibility. They have to handle grooming with realism, not just for the sake of a twist. This Megan Walsh story is designed to rattle the cage. It's bringing up subjects that society usually wants to sweep under the rug. We've connected with Will because he isn't perfect. For a long time, he was defending Megan. He was questioning the people who were trying to help him. That's what makes his current fears so real. We've seen the whole difficult journey from that first sign of grooming to this courtroom showdown. It feels real because it was a gradual process, just like it is for so many people in the real world. Think of a soap like a site of struggle. On one side, you've got the family entertainment side of Corey. On the other, you've got this outspoken drama that tackles things like grooming and sexual violence. The struggle is how to show the seedy side of life without losing the audience that just wants to relax. I think Coronation Street is at its absolute best when it stops being soft soap and starts being a soapbox. People say these stories are too violent for family viewing, but I disagree. These things happen in families. By showing the cost of speaking up and the cruelty of the system, Corey is doing more for public awareness than any dry documentary ever could. We remember Tim Metcalfe's history of being groomed. That's why he could get through to Will. That collective memory of the audience makes the story feel earned. We're invested in Will's recovery because we've been witnesses to his grooming for months. Megan being free feels like a threat to all of us. And then there are the other shadows. What about the Summer Spellman investigation? Or the trolling of Daniel Osborne? It's all tied together in this atmosphere of dread. Is Megan pulling the strings of the campaign against Daniel even while she's out on bail? I think she might be. Those cruel posts saying Daniel groomed Summer? They're designed to destroy a man who is a victim of Megan's lies. If she can make Daniel look like a predator, she makes Will's words look like they were influenced by a dangerous man. It's a classic smear campaign to kill the prosecution's case. Daniel looks devastated. He has no target to fight back against. He's just absorbing blow after blow, and it's pushing him to a breaking point. Then you've got Summer being questioned by DS Lisa Connor Swain. The flashback for George about the night Theo died is a smart trick. It keeps us guessing. Summer can't hold out much longer. Whether she's guilty or just knows something, her trauma is colliding with Will's. The whole street feels like a war zone. The trolling of Daniel is one of the darkest things the show has done lately. Using a false accusation of grooming to hurt someone is genuinely hard to process. I agree with the fans who think Megan is behind it. It shows her evil isn't just physical. It's digital. It's reputational. She's trying to burn the whole village down to hide the fire she started. And who is this mystery figure, Lee? Another one of Megan's victims? Is he trolling Daniel because he wants chaos? Or is it some twisted loyalty to Megan? Predators often create these groups of victims who will defend them. Megan's power is her ability to make others do her dirty work. Whether it's her mom or some guy online, She's always in control as we get closer to the trial. The stakes are just massive. The jury's decision is looming. If Megan walks free, it's a nightmare for Will and Sam. Spoilers say Megan is going to make contact with Will, which is a direct violation of her bail. It's proof that the rules mean nothing to her. She wants to be caught? Or does she just want Will to see that she can break the rules without any consequences? It's the ultimate move to make sure he crumbles when he has to testify. If Will falters when he looks Megan in the eye, it's going to be a tragedy. We've seen him come so far. Recovery takes time. Confidence takes time.
But the trial is happening right now.
He's being forced to face reality before he's even understood what happened to him. The idea of justice shattered is really the heart of this. If she's found guilty, the Driscoll family is still fractured because of Ben telling the truth about Maggie. If she's found not guilty, then the terror stays in Weatherfield forever. There's no clean ending here, and that's why it's so powerful. I think the next few weeks are going to be some of the most important television we've seen in years. Even with lighter stuff like Roy's cafe renovation, the severity of Will's story is what's carrying the show. If you're outraged by Megan's bail, good.
You should be.
That fury is what keeps us cheering for Will. Trauma ripples outward. It damages every single relationship. We see it in Ben and Maggie. We see it in Sam's anxiety. We see it in Daniel's breakdown. The cobbles are a map of unprocessed pain right now. The cost of speaking up has been made so clear. Now the question is, can the system ever offer enough to make that price worth it? Seriously, think about the pressure on Will right now. He's literally carrying the weight of his entire family's future on his shoulders. If he doesn't perform perfectly in that courtroom, Megan walks. If he lets his fear show, her lawyer will jump on it. It's almost like we're asking this boy to be a superhero when he's really just a kid who's been through hell. And what about Ben? Do you think he can ever take back what he said to Will and Ollie about Maggie? That's the kind of information that changes how you look at someone forever. You can't just unknow that your grandmother is a killer. It feels like while they were trying to fight the monster outside their door, they accidentally let the monsters inside have a turn. The Driscoll house used to be a place of safety, but after that dinner, I'm not sure it can ever be that again. It's also fascinating to look at how different soaps handle these big social issues. If you look back at the history of these storylines, Brookside was always the one pushing the boundaries. They showed the moment of abuse with the Jordashes. They showed the murder and the body under the patio. Coronation Street has always been a bit more family-friendly. But with this Megan Walsh storyline, it feels like Corey is stepping into that gritty territory. They're showing us that you don't need a body under the patio to have a horror story. The horror is in the grooming. The horror is in the manipulation. And the funny thing is, even though Corey says they don't do stories just for the sake of it, they've managed to create one of the most powerful ones I've seen in a long time. It feels organic because we care about Will. We've seen him grow up. We've seen his family struggle. The funny thing about Janine Walsh is that she's a mirror for a lot of people in the real world. We all want to believe our kids are good. We all want to believe that if something bad was happening, we'd see it. Janine is living every parent's nightmare, but she's handling it by choosing the easy lie. She's rattled by what she heard at the pub, but instead of looking for the truth, she goes looking for a way to make the pain stop. Megan gives her that way by playing the victim. It's a tragedy within a tragedy. If Janine had just listened to the Driscolls, maybe things would be different. But she couldn't do it. Her ego wouldn't let her. She had to believe Megan was innocent to keep her own sense of herself as a good mother. It's a psychological trap, and Megan said it perfectly. Now, I want to hear from you guys because this is getting intense. Do you think Megan is the one behind the online campaign against Daniel? Or could it be someone else? Maybe this mystery figure Lee? It feels like something Megan would do, right? She's a master of the long game. And what about Will? Do you think he can actually go through with it? When he's standing there and he locks eyes with her, do you think he can tell the whole truth? Or is his confidence going to slip just like Megan wants it to? I'm genuinely worried that he might crumble under the pressure. It's just too much to ask of one person, but I'd love to know what you think about Nick lying to Sam. 2. Was he right to protect him? Or is that lie just going to make things 100 times worse when Sam finds out? I feel like Sam deserves the truth, even if it's scary. If he's going to recover, he has to deal with the real world, not some filtered version Nick created for him.